Hey everybody, you may be an old school kind of person like me who tends to go to the front panel of these receivers, but I thought it'd be neat today to explore what you can do with the GUI on a Scientific Atlanta Cisco receiver. This is a 9800, and as I've often said, I believe the difference between Cisco and Motorola, or CommScope, Aris, whatever they're calling themselves this week. The big difference is that with Cisco you can do a lot of things. There's all kinds of settings and knobs you can play with. Very powerful, very versatile tool, but that means you have to know a little more about how to set things up. Whereas Motorola, much easier to set up, but much less control over settings that you can tweak. So, first what you got to do if you're going to use the GUI is you have to connect the receiver, there's a management port on the back of it, to your network or directly to your computer. On the front panel, you just go in through the menu settings to the setup to the IP section, and you give your receiver an address that's not occupied on your network, and you would either make the gateway, if it's a PC, you'd make it your PC's address if you're connecting directly to it, or you would make it the gateway of the switch or router that you're connecting it to. I've already done all that. So from there, you just put in the address you gave it into the browser. So here we go. Just put in the address that you configured on the front panel of the receiver, and you get this prompt because it's obviously doesn't have a secure certificate. You choose advanced, accept risk, and continue. There really is no risk because this is just a receiver you're talking to. And before you know it, you're in the GUI. And this is my 9800, like I mentioned before. Password for Cisco is always admin, local admin, all lowercase. You can change it if you want, but that's not really important unless you're accessible from the public internet, and this guy is not. So here you have the dashboard, and this is where you have like a bird's eye view of what's going on. As you can see, this receiver is picking up programming from the third and fourth input of the receiver. Those are the channel names. Got some PID information, what's kicking out. Down here is your signal information. And as you can see, like only two of them are correct. The other two are not currently up. Maybe some changes there down the road, but this is a good place to go if you're troubleshooting signal problems. It has nice graphical, easy to understand stuff. You have your error rates, your settings as well, your symbol rate, tuning, all that stuff. For things to be good, you want to looking for lock and sig, you see down there. If you go over to this menu, under Input Setup, this is where you can make some changes if you like. Examples on the right, of course. These two channels are at 3.92 and 4.08 gigahertz. And we'll be changing that one on the left soon because the 5G thing continues as the clearinghouse moves on. You can make pretty much all the adjustments you need here to get signal. So if you have no signal, this is where you would want to come and make sure that your settings match what the programmer gave you. And as you can see, this one is the standard, DVB-S2 with a 0.2 roll-off, 30 for the symbol rate, 30 megasymbols per second, which is pretty common. Some of the weird programmers are different, but most of them are 30. Anyway, if you need to make a change here, which is what I was doing today, you just go ahead and enter it here. This is a Viacom receiver that's changing, so I have my information from them, and the only thing that's changing is the transponder. That's what they call the downlink frequency. This one's going to be 4.12 now. So I enter 4.12, and I hit apply, and there we go. It's good. Successfully updated. That's what you're looking for. Then you want to reacquire because, any change you make, it's, synonymous with like rebooting a computer after you load a big program or install a big patch. And the 9800s are really good on this. I've had some trouble in the past with Firefox on the older Ciscos, but you can just use Chrome if you run into that. So, there we go. All set. Things look good. Lock and signal. I'm refreshing it just to be sure. And there you see the downlink frequency, 4.12 still. So that means it took the change. In this input setup here, you can look at the active inputs, and here's some other information that you need to change in this situation. The broadcaster changed it from 15 to 21 on this new transponder, so you can make that change here. You could also change the mode, which some of them require like degraded or advanced settings there, but this one's pretty standard. So you see when we changed that, we lost sync for a minute. Refresh, and we're back in business. Transport stream ID. State of acquisition, full. That's what you're looking for. Sometimes it'll say degraded if you got some problems there, but we don't. This is a very stable one, this one we got here. So, some other things you can do in this screen. Under the SI status. But we'll save that for another video. What else can I show you? The next menu is channel. If you go under channel selection, it'll show you what channels you have configured it, because most transponders have more than one channel, of course. And this is what's coming in on this receiver. I'm getting all these channels from it. And if you go to status, it'll show you what you're looking for is 3 yeses: authorized, encrypted, scrambled. If you have a no under authorized, that means you got to call the company because your receiver has not been authorized to pick those up. So that's something to be on the lookout for. Up here, there's some warnings. What else we got? This is the other key place I find myself in a lot. Here, if you look under the transport stream, this guy is using ASI output. So I've set it to 68.5 just to make sure we have plenty of bandwidth. You can set it to auto, but I've had trouble with that, so I always set it to whatever. Here you have your digital program mapping, where this is where you can check out the PIDs under output status. This will tell you the whole PID, because a data stream has the PIDs for all these channels all mixed up, so you can check to see what they all are if you're having to troubleshoot a problem on the downstream. And this video is this receiver is a transcoder too. Like I said, I'm using this one to receive all these channels from Viacom, and these are the standard. We downconvert to standard for our older people with older TVs. So you can see it's set to transcode these to the SD version of the channels. So there's an error. There's always some kind of error on this thing. This one doesn't like my network apparently, but that's okay. So over here in the alarms, you can look. These are pretty extensive. This one's doing pretty good. But in here, you'll find any alarm that's come up since the thing's been powered up until you clear it, like I just did. So I don't like seeing alarms walking through the head end. So if the alarms are fixed, I clear them. That's a good way to go. That's the basics of the Cisco GUI. Maybe we'll check out some more stuff in the future. And thanks for watching. More videos coming about satellite technology, among other things. And thanks for watching.